I figured out the most price-effective way to build these Lego MILS plates. MILS plates are what allow me to hold this whole building with one hand and allow these buildings to be connected in whatever configuration we want. Normally, a Lego building just comes with a base plate that is very flimsy. When you're using these MILS plates, you need a lot of them because you're always using it when you're building a vast city or a huge landscape, and so you're gonna most likely use hundreds. So figuring out the most price-effective way to build this will save you a lot of money. Just the other day, someone asked me why I was using these big plates on my MILS plates instead of using a bunch of other plates, because this plate is one of the most expensive Lego pieces. Now, here's all the prices from Lego.com. It's this one right here. $2.50 per piece. That's expensive. Whereas, like, if you use these pieces, where it's just the 4x4 is right here, and it's only 20 cents a piece. So you'd think, okay, it's going to be cheaper doing it this way. But we ran all the calculations for all the pieces on Lego, and it turns out the cheapest actually is this $2 piece, because you only need 4 of these plates to fill the whole base plate to make the MILS plate. Whereas, like, over here, you'd need a whole 128 if you're using, like, the 2x4, which would be insane because that is a small piece. Whereas, let's like look at the calculations, and it's like half as much as some of these others. Like if you did the 8x8, it would be $20, but it ends up being only $10 when you get 4 of these $2.50 plates. We also need to take into account the bricks that we have to place underneath the plates. And when you use a bunch more plates, you're gonna have to use a lot more bricks. So this is an example of what's on the interior of this plate. And so that's the same for all these other ones. So this is the normal, this is the MILS plate that we'd be making. This is what the interior of the bricks would look like. And of all the options, we now have to figure out what is the most price-effective way to do our bricks. Now that we know we should not be doing this way because it uses too many plates on top and bricks in the center. So this one is out. Now we're down to our options of which bricks to use. So I have been thinking, okay, let's just use our 2x1 bricks. And let's do the calculations. Boom, right here we got our options. And it turns out when we count how many bricks we need, and I also thought that the 1x4 brick would be the best, but it turns out the 2x2 brick is the most price effective. And if you go on Lego.com or Bricklink, either it's just the best. And Bricklink is all the used prices. So if you want used Lego, go to Bricklink. If you want new pieces, go to Lego.com. So right here is the example of using the 1x4 bricks. And they're all pretty sturdy. And in just one moment, we will go through the sturdy test. But this is our 2x2 bricks. And so this actually, of our 3 options, this is our most price effective. So you would want to build this pattern with the 16x16 plates. Now, the last thing that is not price efficient with this plate are these studs that you have to use to connect all your MILS plates together. So typically you'll throw those pins in right there so that you can actually connect them and move them all around. So I was told just to go with this one, which is good. And I've gone with it because it's like it creates a sturdiness. But a more price effective piece would just be by getting a pin connector that has 1 hole. So what we could do with this is it will turn out looking like this in the center. And I was kind of worried that it wouldn't be strong enough, which leads me to figuring out which of these ends up being the sturdiest. Here's the 1x2 bricks. And we'll just do a quick press, like just a little turn, little twist. And then this is the 1x4 brick. And then we got our 2x2 bricks. And then the 2x2 bricks with the cheaper pin connectors. Oh, that one has it is a little bit weaker, just a tad. When I did that, like, you can kind of see. So ultimately, the strongest one, the most price effective and strongest one is using these 1x4 pin connectors and then all the 2x4 bricks. But if you want to go a little bit cheaper, and it's not too shabby to do, is to do the pin connectors with the 1x2s. Now, one thing I do want you to be aware of is right here, you can see it kind of goes down because, whereas everywhere else it's pretty sturdy. Because with that pattern, it leaves a little pretty big hole right there. that you can easily fix by putting a 1x1, and just watch this. We put the 1x1 there, and now when you have this plate put together, it like does not go down. You got plenty sturdiness. So put one of those in each of the 4 corners would be most optimal strength. Now that we've gone through and made a huge mess, I want to end with a couple notes. First off, the spreadsheet is going to be just in the link to the description if you want to check it out for yourself. And then it's kind of crazy, we got the most price effective piece is the big one. And of all the plates I built, this was the most annoying because that was so many bricks to place and so many plates. And one of the most enjoyables to build is this one. And then also, I would say this one where it was the 1x4 bricks. This one was really easy. I enjoyed building it. And I probably will use this pattern a bunch because I have a bunch of these bricks at a good price. But I will say, there we go. This is our plate right here that I would recommend. And for those of you who want a guide on how to build these plates, it's just a bunch of these bricks all in every corner laid out in this grid. And it's just 3 on the sides and then 5 across in the 3 centers and then there. And then a 2x2 on each corner with your pin connectors. And you can, it's basically the exact same pattern with this one where you use your pin connectors, and you can kind of see how it's laid. It's really the exact same pattern except you just replace your pin connector with a different size. And then once again, if we're doing the most sturdy structural way, we throw our 1x2s down, and then we'll just place down our plates. And it's so much easier to build these MILS plates and way more time efficient just to do it like this. Like, look at how fast I could do that. Where when you do the 4x4 bricks, your plate, you're gonna be there for like 10 minutes. But ta-da, we're done. Just go around, make sure it's all good. And that is our MILS plate.